Oh.
Okay.
I was supposed to get through nothing.
We'll take a bit of a different angle this time. We're gonna do some not training sort of stuff, but we're gonna look at what we use when we're training and competing, respectively. So we're gonna go from stuff that most people are gonna have, and then the things that we use in a smaller bag for like more specialized training, and then a larger bag for things that don't generally use all the time but are important whenever we do need them. So.
I rarely do a session without music, and I rarely, if ever, have hit like a big lift without wearing headphones. I just think it's like a trigger thing for me. So I know whenever I'm putting them on or like putting a certain song on that it's like go time. You know, I'm there to do what I'm there to do. You know. JBL 500 somethings. They're really good though.
Are they over ear or?
They are over ear. Yeah.
Mine are Sony CH700N. They're noise cancelling. They cover your ears completely, which I find really good because on those sort of days when you don't want to talk to other people, these are brilliant because you can't actually hear them when they try to talk to you. So,
like AJ.
The sound quality is pretty perfect as well. As far as I sort of see things, there's an app you can get with them which lets you specify things a little bit more, which is really handy. Like you can customize the sound both in whatever music app you use and in the headphones themselves, so that's really good. Yeah, phone calls, YouTube videos, whatever you need, so they're good. They're pretty much good all round, but they're very good for the gym because
it tells you what ear to put it on for each one. This is a really handy thing.
I forget.
Yeah, I don't have one water bottle that I tend to use, but I rarely am at the gym without my own one. I have a big one and then a variety of smaller ones.
My water bottle is the official Eddie Hall, the Beast one, which my girlfriend bought for me, but because I've had 2, maybe 3 of these larger water jugs before, they've all exploded on me. If they fall over about that far, usually most of them will explode, but this one's made out of, I don't know, different materials, and they don't get damaged quite so easily. Plus they hold 2 litres of water, so it stops you having to go back and forward to the tap every time you're training, which I ended up doing like what, 4 or 5 times usually, most sessions. So these are really good because they're strong, they're actually built for the gym, which is handy, and they carry a lot of water. 2 of these should do you in a day, maybe. I only wish that I actually could make myself drink 2 of them in a day, but yeah, someday.
I'm kind of a shoe guy. I'm not much of a sneakerhead, but I do have a lot of shoes and I do like shoes. So, got my lifters, my Ollie shoes. They're a bit weathered. I haven't got a new pair for maybe 3 years, maybe just over. But they're great for things like squatting. And actually some kinds of overhead pressing as well, like log lift and stuff. They're very good, but they're just a real good thing to have for strength athletes, I think, and I love mine. They are Adidas Powerlift 2s, I think. I don't know. I think they're the number 2 model. And then I've got my trusty old Converse for Schmed lifting, and I actually wore them the whole way through the Renegade competition, I think, which I didn't think I'd do, but I did. And if you look to the side, they've got Savage written on them, which is super cool.
I don't use specific shoes, I just like a good pair of heavy sneakers with flat soles from usually Nike. So. Intra training bag.
Small bags.
Small bag. I got mine from Silverback. Came free with some t-shirts.
Mine's from Beast Gear, who I used to buy stuff off a lot. First of all, I've got my chalk from my protein, which I think pretty much everybody has.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a student, you get a student discount with my protein, so they're a pretty good company to go to.
Not much point going anywhere else because it's all the same. Basically,
Yeah.
it's just the solvent with some of the chalk dust in it. So if you can get some from anywhere, get it. Whatever one's cheapest is probably what it is.
This is the last thing I bought off Beast Gear. They're the Beast Gear knees. What, Beast Sleeve? I think that's, yeah, Beast Sleeve Pros. I was actually one of the first people to get these, and I was given them as like a trial run thing by the guy who runs Beast Gear. I think he's called Ben. They're a really great company actually. Highly recommend them, especially if you're starting out in the sport. They're not the biggest, so the guy running it tends to message you and stuff a lot when you buy things off him, ask you what you think of it and how maybe if there's any way he can improve or anything like that. But yeah, he gave me a discount on these if I tried them out and gave them a review, and I think they're great and another essential for strength athletes.
My knee sleeves are almost completely different actually. It's really interesting holding them together.
Yeah.
They're from Iron Ape, who are similar, seem to be a smaller company, and are very, very responsive when you speak to them. So I'd highly recommend that you get anything from them. I don't think these are available online anymore. I'll check, and obviously we're going to link everything down below, but if there is a link for these I'll put it in, but I don't think they're available. I can't remember why. But if you can get your hands on these, they're absolutely fantastic. These ones are slightly too loose compared to what I should maybe have, but they've protected me through pretty much everything I've put them through. They've never given me any trouble at all, and they're easy to wash. They're honestly just perfect for everything. You can keep them on throughout an entire competition without really needing to take them off, because they have a feeling of security and they don't really constrict, which I feel a lot of things do.
Yeah.
There's no discomfort with them. They just make you feel as if they're going to stop all the problems from taking place in your legs, which I think is fantastic. These are highly recommended.
Yeah, I'll just do all of the Beast Gear stuff in one go. I've got my Beast Gear straps, which they're the only straps I have ever had, and I think they're great. So they're this long. They've got this nifty little pattern on them where the name is, but it has all these little bumps, and they're like a kind of rubbery material, and they add to the grippiness of the strap. I've never had any problems with them. Whenever I have them on, I feel totally secure. The bar is not leaving my hands, and I highly recommend them.
My deadlift straps are by Bear Grip. I bought other stuff off them before, but I've given it away because I don't like that type of strap. I prefer figure eights like this one. Even though, by no fault of the company, figure eights have led me to almost cost myself several concussions.
Yeah.
But I'll stand by figure eights because I feel more secure. It takes me the time between stepping up to the lift and being given the time to go. I don't have enough connection with what's going on to get those on in time. I'd rather step down, hand over the bar, flip it up, and be ready. But these Bear Grip, absolutely fantastic. They're extremely durable. I feel like they're made of like shipping rope or something, but they're brilliant.
Keeping on that, I have my Bear Grip wraps. Because I didn't know yours were Bear Grip actually. But there you go, yeah, Bear Grip wraps. They're really good. Obviously wrist wraps for supporting your hand and wrist to prevent injury when you're pressing heavy. It just keeps your wrist from going like this, keeps them like that, good strong position, making everything go in the one direction. And I've never had any problem with them. They're adjustable obviously, so they're as tight or as loose as you want them. And I think they're great. I've never had any problems with them, and I think they're pretty cheap too, so highly recommend those.
My wrist wraps are from Iron Ape again. They're again brilliant. They're extremely long, which I like. You can adjust them to quite an extent, to the point where there's no blood in your hand, your fingers won't move, or you can have a bit of motion for things if you're having to move from implement to implement. So overall, I think these ones are absolutely brilliant. I think they are still available, so we'll link them if we can. But yeah, I would recommend these. Anything really by Iron Ape is brilliant. And again, speak to them if you want to find out anything first.
My Strength Shop Thor double ply elbow sleeves, which I bought just after the Renegade competition. I went into it with no elbow sleeves, and I thought everyone else there had them, so I thought it was worth investing in them. They seem really good, but I keep getting the wrong size, so I haven't actually had them on me yet. But they come highly recommended, and everyone at the competition was wearing them. They are completely rigid when you hold them up, so I imagine they give you a lot of support. But I need to go for a bigger size again, because
my elbow sleeves are from RDX, because I don't know, I really admire everything RDX do. I bought them just before Renegade for that added bit of security. Same as knee sleeves, really. I wear them so that I don't have to worry about stability. These take care of it for me. And back in February, these did pretty much exactly that. I didn't have to think about anything other than making sure I completed the lift. So they help take away a lot of the pressure, and they just generally just help you feel confident in the lifts that you're going to do. So recommend these as well. So the rest of my intro bag has Tack by Cerberus. It's grade 2, so it's good for all weather, because it can be very, very warm here and very, very cold here, depending on what time of year it is. So I got the one that suits both.
that just shows you how sticky it is.
It's really, really good.
Yeah.
I've not had many chances to use it properly, because the stones that we work with are either easy to lift or made of a material that makes them harder to lift than they should be. It's like slippery concrete. So I'm looking forward to trying. We're going to get some more stones. I know, because obviously AJ's speaking to Dave Warner, so we're going to get more of those. So with competition grade stones, it would be really, really good to see how this performs, because there's a 140 that he's getting, and it'd be brilliant to see what this does for them. Although so far I have no problems with it. The only difficulty I have is with getting it off. Even though that again isn't too difficult if you don't mind having sticky hands for a bit. There are special stone removing products you can, not stone removing, tack removing products you can buy. Stone and tack sort of products you can buy, but I find if you've got WD-40, just use it instead. Yeah.
I always keep a jumper for training. This one I've got my UPRISING Barbell light sweater.
Where'd you get that?
On the UPRISING Barbell website.
No, it's a shirt, a merch
store.
store.
Yeah, merch store.
Yeah,
merch store. Yeah, great jumper, stylish and practical. And then, but yeah, I always keep a jumper because I like to start my session in one to help me get warm faster. And then once I start getting sweaty, I take it off, and then there we go.
First thing in mind is my Lifestyle Fitness branded My Zone belt. Given it as part of my apprenticeship work with them. It's not the sort of thing you'd maybe use for our style of training, especially not for events because it gets damaged. But generally, if you want to know how well you perform during a session, it's really, really well worth getting something like this, because you can keep track of your heart rate throughout it. Different points where you maybe weren't putting in as much effort, and overall, if you're really into tracking how many calories you burn throughout the day, this will give you a good idea of what you get from your exercise. I usually like to make sure that I burn 800 to 1200 per session, and this usually helps me make sure I get that, because it means that I've done something that's all round a properly good training session. So they're £130 if you buy them, but then Lifestyle Fitness, you get like a massive discount if you're a member and you buy one. It's an enormous.
I think they're 50 quid or something.
An enormous discount. So that's,
but you got yours for free.
Yeah, it's a reason to join them if you are interested in that sort of thing. Very good for people who like running and generally sort of tracking their fitness journey. Recovery stuff. Oh, well, also warm-up stuff as well. This is, I just searched for Muscle Gun to buy this, to be honest. I think there's a company that just sells them under a different name every time. They're perfectly effective. If you can get any sort of one like this,
yeah,
it's going to do you a lot of good, because it's helpful for warming up, it's helpful for competition warm-ups, it's good for event prep, getting
any
prepared
kind of
for deadlifts
you have.
Yeah. And in recovery days, it'll make you feel like you're a child again. You know, so your body just feels
great.
Fantastic afterwards if you do a proper session, following the fibers of every muscle with it, from top to bottom, bottom to top, whatever. They have different fittings as well, so these are really good for just general recovery and helping your muscles to rejuvenate and get the blood flowing again when you're not training or before you do train. So Epsom salts, which Jared told me I should start using about 6 months ago, I think. And when I did, you notice an immediate difference. Like as soon as you get out of the bath after using muscle salts, you notice your body feels better. Maybe once a month, twice a month at most. They are well worth it. Maybe combine a few different types. This one is relaxing aching muscles. There are ones for post-workout, ones for during the week, all kinds of different types. So look at the different ones you have. This one's from Asda. Look at the different options you have and see which one maybe suits your lifestyle best.
This is the newest belt I have bought. I've had 3. After the competition, decided I need a lever belt, so I decided to invest in a Strength Shop lever belt in grey with the black Riot steel buckle, which is the cheapest one you can get off them. I did want the funky oil slick metal one, but it was a bit too expensive at the time. I thought initially it wasn't going to fit me, but it's actually fits perfectly, and you can adjust it really easily. You just need a screwdriver, pop these bits in and out, and then you've got all this variation. You know, it just takes that extra time out of from before your lift of having to squeeze yourself into the belt and making sure it's in the right hole and
That's what she said. Or he said.
Very good at sorting you out if the sizes aren't right. They're very quick at getting that stuff back to you as well, the replacement, and I think they're just a great, pretty local company as well that everyone around here seems to use, so I'm happy to be using their stuff and I highly recommend it.
I've never had a belt that's not been RDX. Even Dad's old one that he let me use at school 7 or 8 years ago was RDX. Everything I've used in terms of belts is RDX. I can't fault them at all. In terms of the strength of this and the way it works, it's fine. Again, I would also recommend you get a crank belt with a handle, because you get basically 2 settings out of it. You get open and you get shut. The open one is good for if you just need a bit of stability for like carrying something, or like something that's a more versatile movement. Whereas the crank, if you close it, then it's the tightness for something like a single rep deadlift or something that requires your whole body to be very, very sturdy. I'd go for this. Maybe check with them first, specifically this one, because the stuff that they say is suited for deadlift maybe isn't suited for strongman style deadlift. It didn't really work for me, but this stuff for deadlift and event sort of stuff is perfect, so go with this.
That might be one of my things.
Yeah, that's us, yeah.
My uprising stuff literally just came into delivery as we were filming. Weird hat thing. Let's see what it is. Swap out one hat. Put on another.
Oh!
Yep. Sick uprising t-shirt. Size large. And I got an XL white UPRISING sweater with black logo, and I think it looks sick.
That fits pretty well though. What size is that, large?
Extra. Well, I've got 2 layers underneath, so like.
What's up? Thank you for watching. Again, loving the support. Keep it up. It's been fantastic, and we're just slowly watching things get better. So keep that up. If you want any recommendations on stuff, anything else we've ever used, send us a message, leave a comment, whatever. We'll get back to you. If you have any recommendations for what you would prefer, we'll maybe give that stuff a try too. And if we can find links for everything, we're going to put all of it down below. So if there's anything here you want to try out on our recommendation, it'll be down there. So give that a look as well.
Bing, 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 bing.
Like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, send us messages, speak to us, and see you soon.